Hello, for this video, we are going to make a little candy cane out of the polymer clay. You can see I rolled out two coils. A coil, sometimes when you're little, we call it a snake, and we'll tell you to roll out a snake. But the technical term is coil, C-O-I-L. But I rolled out two coils, a white one and a red one. I tried to make them the same thickness and the same length. Then I twisted them together and bent them into the candy cane shape. And then I added the little holly for decoration, okay? And of course, I'm going to show you how to do all that step by step. If you want it to look like a traditional candy cane, you're going to need red, white, and green. If you don't have red, white, and green, you can pretty much use any color you want. You just need two so that when you twist it, you can see the twisting and the different colors, and it makes it a little more interesting, okay? So let's get started. Okay, so for our candy cane, we are starting out with red and we are starting out with white. I recommend you start with your white first, because once you get your table or desk dirty and your fingers dirty, it's going to make the white look dirty. So start with clean hands and start with the white. And again, squish it, squash it, roll it around, squeeze it to warm it up and soften it up. And then once you've done that, you want to roll it into a ball. And then you want to roll it into a snake. So I'm rolling it into a ball. If you're rolling it on your table or desk, make sure it is clean. Like, see, I just got a little bit of red on there. I thought it was clean, but not completely. And then I'm going to roll it out into a snake. And I'm kind of undecided on how long I want it. For now, actually, let me make it a little longer because you want enough that you can twist it and you need to bend it to look. And my goal is to make it, the candy canes that are about that size, the smaller ones, my goal is to make it look like one of those. So you got to think to yourself, it's going to be twisting, which is going to make it a little shorter, and then you're going to bend it, which of course is going to make it shorter. All right, that's pretty good. I'm going to put it over here to the side and put it out of the way. Next, I'm going to do the exact same thing with my red. Okay, so I need to soften up this red so it's easier to work with. And again, depending on the day we're having art club for making this, it's supposed to actually be pretty warm. Coach G was just telling me it was going to be 77, which is kind of crazy for December. But if you're doing this at some other time, since it'll be on my YouTube channel, and if it's a cold day, it's going to be a little harder to work with the clay, but once you warm it up, you'll be good to go. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm rolling it out into a snake. And I'm going to attempt to make it the same length as the white one, at least as close as I can. And remember, when you're rolling out a snake, or a coil, which is the technical term, you always want to move your fingers back and forth, because if you park them in one spot and you roll it out where you got your fingers parked, it's going to get skinnier than everywhere else, and you're going to end up with a funny looking coil, and it's probably going to break and fall apart. So if you notice, I'm constantly moving my fingers, trying to keep it even with how it comes out. Compared to my white, I can see I obviously need to make it longer. All right. Take another look, a little bit longer. I'm getting close. Feel free to pause this video and rewind as many times as you need to. It's the benefit of working from a video. All right, and look at that. Those are pretty much the same length. That came really close. All right, so now I'm going to take it and I'm going to twist them. And I'm going to twist it as much as it will let me without damaging it in any way. And then I'm going to set it down on my workspace and I'm going to twist it into the shape of a candy cane. Oh, look at that. That looks really good. All right, so on the end, I gave it just a tiny little pinch or squeeze to keep it from coming untwisted. And the bottom, now, if it was real uneven, like say the red was a lot longer than the white, leave it up where you can see, you could take a tool or a plastic knife and you could cut it off to make a nice blunt edge. I can even do that here. Okay. All right. And so there is the basic shape of my candy cane. So cute. My aunt used to make these for Christmas ornaments. And she would make them and bake them and give them to everyone as little presents. All right, so now I'm going to cut off some green. I'm going to make probably 3 leaves. And you can make them look like any kind of leaf. It doesn't have to be perfect and completely accurate. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it into a little ball. Okay. Then I'm going to squish it flat like a little pancake. And then I'm going to pinch the end and shape it to make it look like a little leaf. So you can see that there. And place it right about there. All right, same thing here. Roll into a little ball. Squish it into a little flat pancake. Pinch the end and shape it ever so slightly and carefully. And once again, put it right here. Now, if you can see, like the little part in the middle, that's no biggie, because that's where we'll put the little berries. All right. And if you wanted to do more than 3 or less than 3, it's your candy cane. You can do what you would like. You may not even want the holly on there at all. Now, we want to make sure that the green is on there good enough that when you put it in the oven and bake it, it doesn't come off. So I just gave it a little gentle push to make sure that the green is stuck to the red. And now I've got my darker red. Again, you could use the exact same red used on this if you wanted, or you could use a completely different color. All right, so I'm rolling it up into a little ball. And I'm going to place it right there. Oops, sorry, that's my timer. It's almost time for me to get online with first grade. And then roll that into a ball. And I want to place that there. And you don't want to squish the ball too much because there's supposed to be little berries. All right, and the last one right there. All right, and there is my little candy cane. I think it turned out really cute. I can't wait to fire it. And if you wanted to do, which means bake, if you want to do like my aunt does and make it into an ornament before you put it in the oven, you can put a little hook or a little eye loop on it, and that way you could hang it on your Christmas tree if you want. All right, so thank you for watching. I hope your candy cane turned out great, and be sure you let me see it. Thanks.